John.
Okay, I don't know where to put you. This is the best spot, but the wheel's in the way. Does this work? Is it okay that the wheel's in the way? It's okay. Today's gonna be a quick video anyways because my mom's in town, she's watching the baby, and I have some errands, and so this week is a little bit more chaotic, especially because of the holidays and everything. So I have a lot of pregnant friends still. I have friends that just had babies or are in the similar phase of life that I'm in. If you don't know, I am almost 8 months postpartum. My baby's almost 8 months. He is my first baby, and so I was thinking, wow, something I've been thinking a lot about, obviously, since having my baby, is things that I would tell my pregnant or early postpartum self. I just wanted to share like really relative personal things that I have gone through that I've struggled with, or things that I would tell myself 8-9 months ago that would either encourage me or kind of bring me into reality and kind of wake me up a little bit to the reality of having a baby. So a little bit of tough love, but also some softness here. So the first thing that I would tell myself is that breastfeeding is not a magic weight loss pill, and it is the hardest thing you will ever do, but it is worth it. Now, I have some friends that either had low supply, are struggling with supply, or just for whatever reason could not breastfeed, and that is super, super real. Breastfeeding, like I said, is the hardest thing I think a woman will ever attempt to try. Like, I think I could pretty much say for every woman that every woman wants to breastfeed. Breastfeeding is nutritious for your baby. It's kind of the most natural way, obviously, to feed your child, but it is so difficult. Like, I literally don't understand how women years and years and years ago, without all of the help that we do have today, fed their children. Like, today we have pumps and we have like supplements and we have all of this, you know, information about what foods to eat. And then on top of that, at least I have been told like, oh, weight loss will like, you'll just like bounce back to your pre-pregnancy body and you won't have to deal with trying to lose weight. And that is garbage. I mean, there's hormones that are regulating. There is, you know, you're sleep deprived, so maybe you're too tired to move as much as you did prior to pregnancy. Whatever the reason, I feel like this is a whole other rant with trying to lose weight postpartum, because you're tired, so you're not moving as much, but you're breastfeeding, so you are burning 300 to 500 calories a day. But because you might not be moving as much, because you're tired, that's offsetted, and so calories postpartum can be kind of difficult to count or keep track of. It's not magic. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not magic, and I thought it would be magic. I gained about 40 pounds in pregnancy, and I've only lost the first 20-ish. And so the last 20 has been incredibly difficult to even try to lose. I am nursing, and so for Leon, like, I'm still waking up anywhere from 1 to 3 times a night nursing him. Depends on if he's teething and, you know, sickness or whatever else that goes on, like, can affect his sleep. So for that one, for me personally, is kind of just like telling my pregnancy self, like, okay, slow the roll a little bit. Like, it's not going to be fairy tale-y. That's not what this is about. It's not being a mom, okay? I think the other thing that I would also tell the early postpartum breastfeeding Eden is that it is so worth it. When you are 6, 7, 8 months postpartum, you reflect on those early months and you're like, whew, like that early postpartum, rocking your newborn in a dark room at 3 a.m., like so tired, like those are some real moments. And I would tell her, like, Eden, it is so worth it. Like, if you really want this and you fight for it, it is so worth it. Like, keep going, keep asking the questions, keep fighting, because it's going to be so good later on. So the second thing I would tell my pregnant self, you might not feel like a mom for a long time. This is something interesting. I still, to this day, even when I'm holding my baby, I still don't feel like a mom. And maybe it's because, like, when you think of a mom or like a parent, you think like, oh, you're disciplinary, or you correct your children, you train your children. And like, we're just now getting to the point where he's starting to like comprehend being a little rebellious, you know, where he's like kind of whining or like talking back a little bit. So we've just recently started having to say like, hey, no, like, don't do that, you know? So we haven't entered like full-on parenting. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people have a different view of that, but I still don't feel like a mom. And I thought that like natural instinct would kind of just be like, boom, I feel like mom, like as soon as he popped out. But like, I haven't really felt that even now. And maybe like, because like you just naturally get so down on yourself for like things that you think you're falling short on, that you don't allow yourself to feel like a mom. I don't know if anyone feels that way, but I would tell my early postpartum self or pregnant self, like, it's okay. Like, you might not feel like mom for a long time, and that's totally fine. Like, as long as you love your child and you're doing your best, like, doesn't matter, you know? It's totally okay to ask for other moms' advice and to not have it all together. And that's like, duh. Like, I feel like it's a pretty obvious statement, but when you're actually in it, it is really hard to ask for help because you feel like you're supposed to have it down. You feel like you're supposed to, like, again, you're supposed to have this like instinctual, like, you know exactly what to do all the time. Not true. And I think a lot of the time you do have a natural inclination to your child. I think that's like a God-given gift. Like, you and your baby share DNA. So like, there is some natural tendencies that you see yourself do for your child. However, there are some things like introducing solids, or like the first time your baby is sick, like all those things, like you just don't know. And it's totally fine to humble yourself and ask for the advice. Even if you don't totally love all the advice, like just ask, because surround yourself with your girls, you know? Oh, this is a good one. The niche, the in or awesome things that people do with their kids, like baby-led weaning or like absolutely no screen time or toy rotation, might not be you, and that's okay. Okay, so we're about almost 2 months, a month and a half into trying baby-led weaning. And I'm not saying it has totally like flopped, because he really is, he's getting really good at eating. He pretty much did it. Like, he pretty much knew how to eat right away. Like, at 4 months old, he was reaching for food. So we introduced some purees early on, but he had really bad reflux. If you know anything about our story, my son had horrific reflux for like the first 5-6 months. It just finally has started tapering, but he was throwing up a lot of food, and so we decided, you know what, let's just wait till he's 6 months. Let's wait till the reflux chills out. So now we're here, and I feel like there's also a side of me that needs to just be patient with him, but I feel like he likes to be fed, and my kid is hungry and he likes food. So I also don't want him to have a bad relationship with food or tie frustration with food. And so if he is getting frustrated not being able to like put stuff in his mouth, like, I'm gonna feed him. And I haven't read like all the things about baby-led weaning, but for me, like, being able to feed him and him get full and be happy while he's eating, I feel like I had to let that go. I had to let go of being this like YouTuber, like, I'm a bohemian mother who baby-led weans and makes all the perfect food for my child. Just all of that stuff, this very niche-y stuff that you see all over the internet. It might not be you, and that's okay. I feel like a lot of things that I thought Leanne and I would be as a mother-son duo looks totally different, because babies do their own thing. Like, literally, they do their own thing. Like, you can plan all the stuff, you can try all the stuff, or like all the Montessori like toy, like he has this little dumbbell. I told my husband before he was born, like, we are not buying colorful, super colorful, noisy, light toys. And I still kind of stick to that because they drive me nuts. But my friend bought him this dumbbell, and it's so cute, and it makes noise, and it's very colorful. And you know what? He freaking loves that dumbbell. So I'm like, you know what? Like, just get over it, Eden. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Because, you know, the internet says like, oh, those toys are too overstimulating. They don't let your child use their imagination to the full extent that they could, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I think I mostly agree with that, but have a little fun in life. You know what I mean? So it's okay if your kid, I would tell myself, it's okay if your kid wants a toy that makes a little bit of noise. Like, all of your toys don't have to be this beautiful, perfect wooden set that everything matches and everything's clean all the time. Oh, here's a good one. Your birth is most likely going to feel and be different than you thought, but it's still beautiful. So again, if you don't know our story, we did a home birth. I shot him out really fast, and he had to go to the hospital because he had still had amniotic fluid in his lungs. So I had watched so many of these home birth videos that were like, oh, perfect, no pain, home birth, like, woo, this was the most gorgeous moment of my life. And I'm not saying it wasn't beautiful, but these women painted this picture that like birth was like just the most magnificent, easy, like rosy rainbows and butterflies moment. And it's like literally not. Like, I had so much back labor. I was in so much pain. It was unmedicated, of course, so it was painful, but it was so much more painful than I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect to land in a hospital, didn't want to land in a hospital, but it is what it is. And I let the experience that I had at my birth that was so different than what I thought, I let that affect me for months. I clung on to the fact that I did not have a complete home birth, that didn't end up in a hospital, and the fact that we were there for 5 days and the whole saga. I hung on to that for months. And it was so unhealthy for my mental state. And so I would tell my pregnant self, hey, your birth is probably not going to go the way that you're imagining it. It's okay to dream, and it's okay to like be excited, but babies are gonna come out how they come out. And literally, like, it's birth. Like, you can't break the curse. The curse is that childbirth is painful and that it sucks. Thank you, Eve. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. It's okay that it ends up being different than how you imagined it. It's a story. And I feel like everyone feels the need to have, like, if you don't have this amazing story to tell people, or this, like, the way that you deliver the story of your birth, if it's not, like, perfect and beautiful, or has this, like, amazing whatever, that it's not beautiful. And that's such garbage. Like, I had a home birth and it was freaking hard, and then I ended up in the hospital. Like, it doesn't have to be this flowery, like, thing. Does that make sense? It's okay that you don't have this, like, magnificent, like, it's just so silly. So I would tell myself to, like, let go of trying to have this perfect beauty. Like, it's gonna be beautiful because it's birth. Like, it's your baby. It's God's design for women to have children. It's going to be beautiful no matter what. It does not need to be perfect. Whatever perfect means to you, it doesn't need to look like that, and that's okay. Last one that I have, there's probably more, but this is the last one. What you do for your baby and family might be different than someone else, and that's perfectly fine. The biggest thing that comes to mind when I think about this is sleep training and, like, how you put your child to bed. I'm not going to, like, share why I agree or disagree with a certain thing, but sleep training has never worked for us. A lot of it had to do with Leon's reflux, because I never knew when he was actually hungry because he threw up so much, so I was never going to reject him food, especially in the middle of the night. And still to this day, like I said, he wakes up 1 to 3 times a night, and every time he wakes up, he does a full feed. So I know that he's actually hungry. He's not just asking for comfort, again, unless he's sick or he's teething. But there are other moms that I have friends, and they love sleep training. Their kids sleeps 12 hours a night, 7 to 7 or 8 to 8 or whatever. But it's because, like, I have personal reasons why I don't agree with sleep training, or why I think it really just doesn't work for our family. It's not necessarily that I don't think it can work for other people. It's okay that you choose a different path than someone else. I have friends that waited to introduce solids until their kid was older, or some people that introduced it way earlier than I did, or they do the full-on baby-led weaning, or they only feed their kid, or they decided that breastfeeding wasn't for them. Like, literally, it does not matter. Like, whatever works for your family, whatever works for you, even if it's not the niche thing or the Instagram thing or the whatever, like the things that are, becoming super, super popular, whatever. And there's reasons why certain things are better or good for your kid, but if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. So stop stressing. I would tell myself all these things because I think the main reason why I would have told myself these things is because I wouldn't have been so depressed the first 3 months or 4 months. I would have enjoyed Leon so much more had I just let go of this, I need to lose weight, I need to do everything perfect, I need to, like, have all these specific products and the specific routine, and this is going to affect him long term. That's not true. At the end of the day, God is in control over everything in your life. In control meaning he's got you. Like, he directs your steps. He's got your path in front of you. Like, he's got you. He's guiding you. He's going to be that voice for you when you are confused as a mother. He's just going to, like, get in tune with the Holy Spirit. Stay in the Word. Like, I think that there's the other one. Stay in the Word, because if you're not reading the truth, then the enemy's just going to be filling your mind with lies, filling your mind with so much chaos that is going to interrupt you just simply enjoying your baby and you tapping into the beauty that is becoming a mom. I don't want this video to be incredibly long, so we're gonna cut it here. But those are the things that I would tell my pregnant self or early postpartum self. So if you are pregnant or you are a new mom, God's grace upon you. And may the Lord's favor be on you. May he turn his face towards you and give you peace. Those are some really, really hard nights, but they're the most beautiful times. And now that I can say almost 8 months postpartum, you find yourself again. You feel yourself again. It's a slow process. It's not always perfect. It's not going to be immediate, but you will get there and you will feel so amazing, and you will look back, just be proud of yourself. And so, yeah, that's what I would tell myself, and that's what I'm telling you if you're in that season. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are into fitness and family, which if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're at least into family, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I make videos about those things. Like this video if you found it helpful. Share it with your friends if you have a pregnant or early postpartum friend, and ring the bell for future notifications. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you next time. Bye.